What if I told you that some of the world's greatest fortunes are buried under the sea, hidden in forgotten vaults, or even lost in plain sight? These treasures have been lost to time, buried by wars, natural disasters, and deceit. But what if they're not as lost as you think? There are secrets waiting to be uncovered, and some people are determined to find them. Throughout history, tales of hidden treasures have captivated the human imagination. From sunken ships off the coast of the Caribbean to lost vaults in ancient cities, humanity has always had a fascination with the pursuit of wealth, sometimes with devastating consequences. But as much as we romanticize these quests, the truth behind these lost fortunes is far more complex, mysterious, and dangerous than any treasure map could ever reveal. Join me as we delve into the shadowy world of lost treasures and the high-stakes quests that still haunt us to this day. For centuries, treasure hunters have embarked on daring expeditions to locate riches long thought to be lost. But these quests have a cost, both in terms of human life and the wealth that remains just out of reach. What keeps these treasures hidden? Why have some remained buried for centuries, while others seem to elude discovery forever? Some say it's the ghosts of history. Others claim it's the greed and deception that has kept these fortunes from seeing the light of day. But the deeper you look, the more you realize these aren't just stories. They're complex puzzles, unsolved mysteries, and dangerous pursuits that have shaped the very idea of treasure hunting itself. Let's begin with one of the most famous and intriguing treasure hunts in modern history, the treasure of the Nuestra Señora de Atocha. This Spanish galleon, laden with gold, silver, emeralds, and priceless artifacts, set sail in 1622, hoping to deliver a massive fortune back to Spain. But disaster struck when the ship was caught in a violent hurricane off the coast of Florida. The Atocha sank, taking its precious cargo down to the depths of the sea, where it would remain hidden for centuries. For over 350 years, the fate of the Atocha's treasure was a matter of legend. Many believed it was lost forever, swallowed by the ocean and erased from the pages of history. But then came Mel Fisher, a determined treasure hunter who, in 1985, finally uncovered the wreck off the coast of Key West. The discovery was nothing short of extraordinary. Fisher recovered over $400 million worth of gold, silver, and emeralds from the depths, making him a legend in his own right. But was that the end of the story? Some believe that Fisher's crew didn't recover everything. While the Atocha's main treasure was found, there are persistent rumors that pieces of the fortune remain hidden, either lost, misplaced, or even deliberately concealed. Could there be more buried in the sands of the Florida coast, waiting for someone with the right knowledge and resources to uncover them? What if the ocean still holds secrets it refuses to release? Let's now turn our attention to Oak Island, perhaps one of the most infamous treasure hunts in history. Located off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, Oak Island has intrigued explorers for centuries, its so-called money pit being the subject of intense fascination. Legend has it that a vast fortune, possibly linked to pirates, the Knights Templar, or even ancient civilizations, is buried deep within the island. The first recorded discovery of the money pit occurred in 1795, when a young man named Daniel McGinnis noticed a depression in the ground, surrounded by strange markings. Upon further investigation, McGinnis and his companions found what appeared to be a man-made shaft, suggesting someone had been digging on the island long before. Since then, treasure hunters have poured millions of dollars into excavating the site, but each attempt has been thwarted by bizarre obstacles. Rising water levels, strange mechanical traps, and sudden collapses have made progress nearly impossible. Some believe these traps were left behind by the original diggers to protect their treasure, while others suggest that the pit is cursed, a deadly game that no one can win. The island itself is home to a number of theories. Some claim that the treasure is related to the lost treasure of the Knights Templar, linking the island to the legend of El Dorado and the search for a fabled golden city hidden in South America. Others think the treasure could be the loot of pirate Captain Kidd, or even a stash of manuscripts or documents, something far more valuable than gold and just as elusive. The Oak Island mystery has been so enduring that it has led to several expeditions and television shows dedicated to uncovering its secrets. Yet, as each season of digging passes, the treasure remains as elusive as ever, leaving many to wonder, is there a treasure at all, or has the hunt itself become a myth? A story of human obsession that keeps leading us in circles. But what about treasures lost in the depths of war? The story of the lost Confederate gold is a prime example of how history, war, and fortune often collide in tragic and mysterious ways. During the final days of the American Civil War, as the Confederacy's defeat became inevitable, the Confederate government reportedly sought to move its treasury to the South to prevent it from falling into Union hands. The treasure, valued in the millions, was said to be hidden in various locations across Georgia. The story gained traction in the late 1800s, when a woman named J. Frank Allen claimed to have found part of the treasure. She described a vast hoard of gold hidden in a cave. But by the time treasure hunters arrived at the site, it had disappeared again. In the years that followed, various people claimed to have found pieces of the treasure, but none of these discoveries were ever confirmed. Despite the best efforts of countless treasure seekers, the Confederate gold remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the Civil War. Some believe it's buried in the hills of Georgia, while others suspect that it was hidden in a series of underground tunnels, never to be seen again. The story is not just about lost riches, though. It's a haunting reminder of the human cost of war, of how treasures, whether in the form of gold, silver, or even knowledge, are often lost in the chaos of conflict, never to be recovered. And perhaps, in some cases, the pursuit of these treasures serves as a reminder of what we are willing to sacrifice in the name of greed, power, and legacy. Another treasure with a dark past is the Amber Room. Known as the eighth wonder of the world, the Amber Room was a magnificent room in the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo, near St. Petersburg, Russia. The room, built in the 18th century, was an intricate marvel of amber panels, gold leaf, and mirrors, a symbol of wealth and craftsmanship. During World War II, the Nazis invaded Russia and looted the palace, stealing the Amber Room along with other priceless artifacts. The treasure was dismantled and shipped away, never to be seen again. Over the years, the Amber Room has become one of the most sought-after treasures in history. Numerous expeditions have been launched to find it, but all have failed. Some believe the Amber Room was destroyed during the war, buried in rubble, while others think it was hidden somewhere in Eastern Europe, awaiting rediscovery. The truth behind the Amber Room's disappearance remains a mystery, and its allure as a lost treasure only grows with time. Its story is not just one of lost wealth, but of cultural heritage, the loss of art and history to the ravages of war, and the painful gaps that remain in the historical record. And then, there's the tale of El Dorado, the legendary city of gold that haunted the dreams of European explorers for centuries. The legend of El Dorado began with the indigenous peoples of South America, who spoke of a golden king, Muisca, or the lost city of the Incas, said to be filled with unimaginable riches. For the Spanish conquistadors, El Dorado became the ultimate prize, a city made entirely of gold, waiting to be discovered in the heart of the jungle. Over time, this myth became the subject of countless expeditions, many of them deadly. The idea of El Dorado spurred ruthless conquests, with explorers marching into the jungle, only to vanish without a trace. Some believed the city existed somewhere in the Andes, while others placed it deep in the Amazon basin. But despite centuries of searching, the city, if it ever existed at all, remains lost to this day. El Dorado's myth was so powerful that it continues to capture the imagination of adventurers, treasure hunters, and historians alike. Some think the treasure might not have been a city at all, but rather a hoard of gold hidden by the Incas or another civilization, its location lost to time. What makes El Dorado even more fascinating is that its very existence is in question. Was it real, or was it simply the creation of a myth that was too tantalizing to resist? The search for El Dorado remains one of the most enduring legends in the world of treasure hunting. All these stories have something in common: the idea of something precious, hidden, and lost. They are tales that persist because they resonate with something fundamental within us: the desire to find treasure, to uncover what has been buried, and to reveal what history has concealed. But as these quests show, the treasure is not always what it seems. Sometimes the hunt itself is the true treasure, the obsession, the discovery, the impact on those who dare to seek it. Yet, these stories also raise a deeper question. What is the price of uncovering these secrets? Some treasures are buried for a reason, lost, hidden, or concealed to protect something more valuable than gold. The world is full of lost treasures, each with its own story, mystery, and legend. But the more we search for them, the more we realize that these quests are as much about uncovering history, grappling with human ambition, and confronting the dark side of our desires as they are about wealth. Whether it's the Atocha, Oak Island, the Confederate Gold, or El Dorado, the hunt for these treasures reveals much more than just fortune. It reveals the lengths to which we will go to control our past, shape our future, and claim what we believe is rightfully ours. But perhaps the most profound mystery of all is not whether these treasures will ever be found, but why we continue to search for them, even when the cost is so high. If you're intrigued by these unsolved mysteries, subscribe and dive deeper into the unknown with us.